It wasn't too long ago that I was on the other side of the auditorium. Um, and I like to say that it wasn't too long a time ago, though it has been almost 14 years. It just makes me feel a little younger. While the zeal in my heart remains the same, I don't think I can say the same thing about my back and my knees. But yeah, 14 years, it has been an incredible roller coaster ride. And I feel extremely honored today to share my journey with you all. In fact, not my journey. I would rather tell you about the choices I made, because I thoroughly believe that we are what we are by the choices we make, and the choices we make as an independent individual. In fact, I'll start by the first first substantial choice that I made was to specialize in human resources and pursue a career in HR. I must say it was not a very popular choice then. In a class of 60, we were just four who chose HR. And people had their own logic to it, right? Some said that there aren't enough jobs outside in the market. People in the HR fraternity get paid lesser than people in sales, marketing, or finance. There aren't enough growth opportunities once you start working. And I can focus on all the barriers, but I would rather focus on making breakthroughs. What I did, especially for this one, I started my research, and not the statistical research. I started talking to people. Started talking to people from the industry, people who were already pursuing their career in finance, in marketing, in HR. A few who had just started, few who had been there for quite some time, and I focused on what do they do every day? What does their most ordinary day look like? And that helped me envision how would my day, my typical day at work would look like. And the choice was clear. Some people call it the calling, some people say it's the gut feeling, whatever you call it. I mean, I'm sure you all have experienced that. I decided that I will pursue my career in HR. However, it was an important decision, and like many of you, I also wanted some external validation for this. And for a very large part of my life, this external validation was my father. And when I told him that, you know what, I want to pursue my career in HR, all he said was, "You sure you would enjoy doing this? You like it? Go ahead." Right? And this was exactly what he had told me when I had told him that I want to pursue art as a hobby and not cricket, or I would rather go to the dance class and not the karate class. And I'm sure if I would have told him I don't like women, I like men, he would have said the same thing. Unfortunately, I couldn't muster up the courage to say this to him while he was around, and I don't think I will ever get this opportunity. But if I would have, I'm sure he would have said, "You like him, he'll take care of you, go ahead." Dads, I tell you, they're like that. But unfortunately, a lot of people that you will meet in your lives are not as supportive as your parents. Um, and I wouldn't shy away from saying that when I started working, I was very disappointed. And this was because all through my growing up years, whenever I would be bullied, teased, called names in school, in tuitions, I would go back to my mother and sometimes say that I don't want to go to this class, primarily because of the people there. And she would tell me that don't focus, these people are immature. Don't focus on that, focus on your studies. And I thought that, okay, once I will go to the higher grades, with age will come maturity. And I held on to that. When I joined my junior college, nothing changed. By the time I got to my engineering, things only got worse. By the time I got to my B school, I could smell immaturity from a distance. And that's what I did, kept my distance from such people. But I must say that while you would decide to keep distance from certain people, people might not choose to do that, right? This just reminds me of this one guy in my in my coaching classes. After every session, every day, he would be out there in the corridor with a bunch of guys and girls, waiting for me to come out. so that he could call names, tease, basically have fun on my cost. And there were days when I have sat back in an empty classroom for almost 30 minutes, hoping that they would have left. But they weren't. They were there, waiting for me. Cut to there was this one day when I was out with my family doing some shopping in a departmental store. You know how these stores are, right? There are multiple local brands stores, and there's this one guy sitting outside every store who's like, "Naya maal aaya hai, fresh stock aaya hai, discount karwa dunga, sir, aa jaiye le lijiye." You know, that primary job is to get the customer into the store. Outside one of these stores, I see this guy from my coaching classes. I definitely recognized him. Our eyes met. I'm sure he recognized me too. There was a mix of emotion, but I chose not to say anything. But from that day, I believe in one thing. I believe in karma. I know that somebody up there is making notes and will ensure that the books reconcile. I might not have evolved to say that I can forgive, but I always have a choice to let go. Talking about my school days, I was always this above average child. That's how I put it, right? In a class of 60, I used to be the rank 12th, rank 15th. So never a complaint that my parents would have that he's not studying well, or no complaints from my teachers in the PTMs, but also not that child who is felicitated on school occasions, or is made the class monitor, or is quoted as an example, right? So, and this went through, and I was happy with this. Until I think second year of my diploma, second year of junior college, I realized that I'm spending a lot of time watching TV. After coming from college, I would sit and watch the K-dramas. No, not the Korean dramas we watch today, the Ekta Kapoor K-dramas. I would be hooked onto that, and which is not good. So and it also happened to be my elder brother's final year. So I told him, you know what, we should cut the cable connection. And he agreed, thankfully. And then we went to our parents. Parents being the sweethearts they are, they were ready to give up the only source of entertainment they had. And boom, at the end of the second year, I topped the class. I was rank 1. Even I couldn't believe that. But what I want to tell you today is something around me changed. Suddenly, my batchmates started having normal conversations. There was no mocking. There was no giggles. There were no smirks. And that taught me a lesson that if I am doing something, I will have to put in additional hard work and excel at it. If I'm doing very well, people will automatically take me seriously, and they will be able to see beyond my mannerisms and my voice. Unfortunately, working solo and working and excelling at what you do gets a little tricky when you start working in an organization, because it's impossible to work solo. You have to work with people. And in an organization, people come from various walks of life, right? People from different ethnicities, different backgrounds, different education qualifications, different aspirations. I think the only common thing is that everybody is there to build a career. That reminds me of a very sweet conversation I had with this one guy from the IT team. We were working on developing an HR system in-house, right? And I came from engineering background, so I was put out as the lead for that project. And I was closely working with this developer. One day, working on the project, he randomly tells me, let's just go for a chai break. And then tells me that, you know what, Bhushan, you're doing a fabulous job. I've been around in this organization for quite some time. I've seen people, and I can tell you that you're doing really well. But if you would work on your mannerisms, on your voice, people would take you more seriously, he said. I took a moment, and then I told him, you know what, I can do that. I can act all macho, have this tough look on my face. I can do that. But you know, this is not like a college course that it's there. I'm here for 2 years or 3 years, and then like Fungso Kwangdu from 3 Idiots, I will disappear and never see my batchmates again. I can't do that. I'm here to build my career. And if I can't be myself at my workplace, what's the point? It was his time to take a moment and think about it. And then he told me, you know what, Bhushan, I get you, and I'm with you. What I'm trying to draw your attention to here is that we all have friends. I have so many friends from my workplace who are, who are non-judgmental, unbiased, love you unconditionally, love you for who you are. But this random support that you get from people at work works magically. Like this one, I started working with the IT team so closely that then IT head would never take any talent related discussion, any talent related issue without consulting me. He would always consult me. Even today, when we meet outside work, we cross paths, we only have sweet memories to savor. Anyway, I've spoken a lot about my work. Don't feel that I'm this boring HR person who only works. I have a life beyond work, work-life balance, and I really pursue a hobby, and I would suggest that all of you do that. And this evolves. Like there was a time where I was very passionate about dance. Now it's only for the clubs and discos. I randomly signed up for a mandala making workshop. And today, I think I find my solace in art. I also have a side hustle. I am a trainer. I am a visiting faculty at a couple of B schools in Mumbai. And yes, it is a lot of hustle. I'm also a travel enthusiast, fashion enthusiast, if you feel so, and make very lame attempts at making reels. But all of this hustle, I think all of this hustle is just worth it when that random comment on a particular reel comes up saying that this reel made me smile today, or one random comment or message that would come on LinkedIn saying, so your session was very insightful, or that one text from a work colleague who would say that, thanks for having that conversation with me. I feel much lighter. I think all of this hustle just becomes worth it. And today also, if out of this entire 15 minutes of my monologue, if even one of y'all learn something and take back something from here today, I think all of this is worth it. Thank you.